Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Ancestral Family Living. My name is Mackenzie and today I'm going to be sharing with you my grocery haul from Aldi and the produce stand for my family of 5. Okay, so this is everything that I have so far. I will be doing another pickup order tomorrow for our meat from our local farmer, so you'll see that in another clip, but this is what I have so far. So everything from here up until the eggs, this is all from Aldi. So I'll just go ahead and start with this. So I did buy a gallon of whole milk. My reasoning for buying like pasteurized milk from the store is that I want to try and make homemade yogurt, and I know you can make yogurt with raw milk, but I didn't want, because it's my first time doing it, I didn't want to mess up. And then because like the yogurt or the milk that I buy from the produce stand is $10 and this was like $2.50. So I was like, I'm going to try it with this first experiment and learn how to do it, just so I know I'm not just like wasting money, experimenting. So that's why I bought that. We're probably not going to drink that as our milk, but if I do any like baking, the yogurt, that kind of stuff, I think the yogurt takes like 4 cups. It might be more. So I'll definitely use that, just we won't be drinking it. So then we have another thing of sourdough. I do have, there's a lady who sells sourdough at the produce stand, but that's like $12 for one of these loaves. And at Aldi, I think it's like $2 or $3 for this. And this is like a good sourdough bread. So we've been buying that. I do like to support locally when I can, but my budget is pretty stretched right now, just with what we're buying. So that's some area that I do compromise in, with buying it at the store versus buying it local. Not to say not to support your local bakers. I definitely think you should if you can, if you have the budget for it. Okay, so moving on, we have freeze-dried strawberries. This is something that my 2-year-old will snack on when he goes to the gym, daycare, or just like throughout the day. And they do have like individual packs at my Aldi, but that was almost $7 for 6 of them. So it's a much more affordable to just do it this way. And then that way too, I can kind of control how much they're getting, if he wants more, if he wants less. I'll normally just send one of these and they'll last like a day or two. And then I send him in with like some sausage or some sort of like protein with it, so he's like has something to keep him full. And my other 2 are in preschool when I go to the gym, so that's why I'm not packing snacks for them. Okay, so then I have a thing of organic cane sugar. I do want to start trying to getting away from the processed sugar and just using honey and maple syrup. But we don't have our own honeybees, and honey, for one mason jar of it, for 4 cups is I think $20, but the farmer's market, the guy that I would buy it from, the farmer's market isn't going on until April. So once April comes around, that's what I want to do when I'm able to get it more, it's easier to get it, unless I'm able to find someone locally until then to supply me honey. I'll have to hold off, or just not do as much baking, which I'm not sure my kids would enjoy that, because I do a lot of baking and they obviously are the ones eating all that stuff. So I got another thing of organic white rice. I still have another bag of this in our pantry, but this is something that I'd like to just have on hand. We eat rice at least 3 times a week, and I'll make it with bone broth. So it's really healthy and good for their gut. And that's a way I can get my kids to actually make sure they're getting bone broth. So I always like to have that on hand. I buy these blocks of cheddar cheese to make Cheez-Its, homemade Cheez-Its for my boys. I did actually find an organic grass-fed cheddar cheese, but it was white cheddar and not yellow. And I made that mistake the first time I made Cheez-Its. My boys think it's weird to have white cheese. They only want the yellow Cheez-Its. So I would have bought that if I would have thought my kids would eat the Cheez-Its, the product that I'm using it for, but so I just got this instead. And this was cheaper. This is $1.70 something. Let me see on the receipt if I can see it. Mild cheddar, $1.89. So yeah, and the other one was 3 something. So it was definitely a little bit of a cost saver doing it that way. So I have another package of pepperoni, another thing of summer sausage. This is for my oldest. He likes pepperonis in his lunch. My younger 2 like the summer sausage, and the crackers go with the lunch. This is what they have as one of their things. yeah, so that's really, I've been meaning to make a summer sausage myself, and I went to do it and then realized I didn't have all the ingredients for it, so I just got the rest of the ingredients that I needed for it, so I'm doing that this week. But I've got some dark chocolate chips. That's really just a lot of baking or like a little dessert if my boys want something, or if my husband likes to snack, wants chocolate, they'll just kind of eat those. I have some garlic powder and onion powder. I ran out, so I wanted, obviously doing a lot of cooking, and that's something I'd like to have on hand. Eventually I want to get to the point where I'm making my own. I normally, like, and I'll say this, like, when I'm like really on a health kick and not, I normally don't do the seasonings because I know that like they're sprayed with like the pesticides, and like you're putting that in your body then when you're eating this. So as of now I'm doing it, but there are times when I'm like, okay, no, I shouldn't be putting that in my body, so I go back and forth with it. So yeah, just a little tidbit on that, but as of now we have those and I'm using them. So over here, I don't think I touched on these. We have 2 boxes of mac and cheese. My oldest likes this. Well, everyone likes these. My oldest really likes these. So that's why we've got that. I want to start making my own mac and cheese. I was talking with my husband because he thought that it would be cool if we made our own like powdered cheese, which I know it would be, there's a way for us to do it. Because the thing is that when I make mac and cheese, if the cheese is liquid, like it's a baked mac and cheese, or if it's just like the sauce and I stir the noodles in, for some reason my boys don't eat it. But if they go to Bojangles, they'll eat that mac and cheese, which it's like made the same way. So I don't know if it's something that I just have to like completely stop buying this and just say, nope, like this is the mac and cheese we're eating, and if you don't like it, then I'll stop making it. I don't know, but as of now, because I know this isn't the best, and like it's really not that good for them, and they love mac and cheese, so I need to find a better way to make it that they'll eat it. So moms out there, or just parents in general, if you have any tips or recipes that's like tried and true, your kids absolutely loved it, please let me know in the comments below, because that's definitely something that I would make just piles and piles of mac and cheese if they would eat it homemade. So just let me know. I'm trying to think of when, I think I was up here. Okay, so I bought this thing of apple juice. It's organic. There's no added like high fructose corn syrup or anything. I did actually buy apples down here with the intention, I'm going to make applesauce for my boys, and I also want to try and make apple juice with that. So this is hopefully the last time that I'm buying apple juice for a while. I really want to start, like especially with my scraps from the produce starting to like have a zero waste. So like cutting down the apples, saving the core and the peels for apple cider vinegar, and then like cooking the apples in the water to make the apple juice, and then straining that off to make the applesauce. So I've been seeing a lot of videos on it, and that's kind of how I want to start, just being more resourceful with what I'm buying. So that's my whole tidbit on the apple juice. The reason why I'm buying the apple juice is that my fire cider is done, and my husband, I just drink the fire cider like as is. I just do 2 tablespoons and just take it in a little medicine cup. My husband likes to take a shot of the fire cider, and then he drinks that after to kind of help wash it down. So that's why I'm on the juice kick and why I'm buying it. I normally don't buy juice just because it does add to the grocery bill. So here we have some organic creamy peanut butter. I do want to start making my own sprouted nut butters. I have an order at Azure Standard I want to do. I just haven't placed it, and I'm not sure because the pickup day I don't think is going to be a good day for me. So it's going to probably be another month before I'm getting it. But they've got like raw Spanish peanuts that I want to sprout myself and then make my own nut butter with it. So I'll do a video of me doing that. But until then, I'm just doing this peanut butter, and the ingredients in this is really good, organic peanuts and salt. And for the most part, like I know obviously the mac and cheese, like it is organic, so it's not like super bad ingredients, but it is just like a lot of ingredients in there, and sunflower oil, you see. So it's like not the best, but I mean, this is just freeze-dried strawberries. Like a lot of this stuff isn't too bad. I mean, that stuff is bad, not bad, but has additives in it. So that's my, I try. And so if you're like a mom and you're like, you have an Aldi, you haven't shopped there, you kind of want to go there but you're health conscious, they actually have a lot of organic options. They have a lot of, like I know they have like, yeah, this like Good Housekeeping label, nutritionist approved. Like they do have a lot of healthier options compared to Walmart, Food Lion, those places. So just give it a try. If you haven't stopped in there, I definitely recommend doing it. So I have 2 things of this Irish butter. My husband did go to the produce stand like a couple days ago and pick up a thing of butter for me when I was making our youngest's birthday cake. So I do have some Amish butter in the fridge, but I bought these just because we go through a lot of butter in our house. So we seriously can never have enough butter on hand. I went over the crackers. The yogurt, I need some yogurt, like a tablespoon of existing yogurt to make the yogurt that I want to do in the Instant Pot. So that's why I bought that. When we were traveling, my kids, when we were at the hotel, they had raspberry yogurt and they were like obsessed with it. They each had like 3 cups each day, like per breakfast type thing. And I told them I would make them some. So I need to go to Walmart and get frozen raspberries. But that was something, that's like why I want to make yogurt, is I want to make them their own raspberry yogurt. Because they were like asking me to make it, which I thought was fun. So we have some organic ketchup. I thought we were out, but it ends up that we had another bottle in the pantry, which is fine because like we're going to use it before it goes bad. But those are the ingredients: tomato puree, organic sugar, organic distilled vinegar, salt, organic onion powder, organic spices. A lot of ketchup has like the high fructose corn syrup, the seed oils. This doesn't. This is really good, and it's a good price too. It's like $1 something, I think. It's smaller than the other bottle of ketchup that they have, but when you look at the ingredients, like it's definitely worth it to pay for that. So over here we have 3 cans each of some peach and some pear slices. My middle son, Adam, absolutely loves the peaches. So it's peaches with water, pear juice, concentrate, peach pulp, juice, absorbic acid to protect color. So there is some other additives other than just peach in fruit. It says fruit juice, not peach juice. So I guess they're a little tricky with that. But then the pear slices are a little bit better. It's just pears water and pear juice concentrate. So it's not too bad. I would prefer it to be like Sam's has pear slices that come in a glass jar. And I like buying that. And I think they have peaches sometimes too. I just obviously didn't go to Sam's, so that's why I have it in the can. Went over that. So this, if you've been watching my videos, you know I have one dog who's on a raw diet. He actually just had a really bad ear infection and like a yeast infection in his paws. So we're doing the whole food trial with him, trying to get the ear infection and like the paw stuff under control. And then we're going to go on a food trial where he's only going to have like chicken, turkey, beef, kind of just to see what's triggering him. But I also think too, because my kids obviously throw food on the ground and the dogs eat it, I don't know if he's like reacting to some of the human food, because I was reading a thing about like if it's a yeast infection, like with the ears or with the paws, that the yeast like feeds on the sugars in the food or something to that extent. I'm forgetting now verbatim what the science is. And if you know, please let me know in the comments below if I'm butchering this. But I kind of think he also just needs to stop having human food, which is going to be really difficult because my kids, like, they're always eating and food is everywhere in this house. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. And if you have any tips, let me know in that department too, with just ear infections, yeast infections in dogs, raw diets, all that stuff. Drop your knowledge for me. So here we have a strawberry banana blend. My boys love just to snack on that. Like that's something we'll do, especially in the wintertime when fruit isn't in season. We just trying to eat it frozen. And then my youngest is somewhat teething, so it's nice to have that on hand. They eat that once a week. I'll do my kefir smoothies with that as well. So that will be gone within the week. I was debating on buying 2 bags, but it was almost $6. So I just held off and just bought 1. Yeah, so that is everything that I bought at Aldi. And like I said, the total was $87.21, so almost $90. The dog food is around $10. That's in a separate budget. So this is around $80 for everything that we have here. So moving on, this was picked up Yesterday we had a little bit of weather. We're in North Carolina. We were supposed to get snow. We ended up getting, I know some parts of the state got snow, but where we are at, we ended up just we saw snow, but it didn't stay on the ground, and then it just turned into ice. So I was thankful the farmer still came out Saturday morning because the storm, like the weather happened Friday night. He was able to make it out. He still wanted to meet up, which I was totally thankful and grateful for. So I spent $48 on eggs for the next 2 weeks. So because the farmer's market is not in session right now, some of the people at like the farmers at the stand will just come every week or every other week just for an hour. Like some of them are just there for 15 minutes and it's just a pickup, but it's a way for them still to sell what they have, and like obviously the public still to get it. I do have to order it ahead of time, so I texted him on Monday to order 8 dozen eggs and 2 dozen quail eggs. And he was able to fulfill it, but he did say that he had so many orders and his chickens are only producing so much that he had to turn some people away. So I'm going to gauge and see how much we go through in the next 2 weeks, and see like how much I actually need to be buying. My reasoning for buying 8 dozen is that I've been drinking 4 raw eggs a day. So I thought just in that itself, for 2 weeks, I need almost like 5 dozen. And I haven't been consistent with it every day, but it's at least like every other day that I'm doing it. And that's also why I have the quail eggs, is I just drink them raw. Or if I need to substitute like for a chicken egg, if I have enough, I'll do a bunch of quail eggs. I think it's like 5 or 6 quail eggs equal 1 chicken egg. Maybe that's not right. I think that's what Google said, but I also remember doing that and thinking that was way too much. So I don't know. If you know the ratio, drop me a comment below and let me know. But yeah, so that's why I bought that much. And then also I do a lot of baking. My kids will have eggs for breakfast, and I've got 3 boys. So it's like right there, you're making at least 6. So when we make our German pancakes, that's 6 eggs. So we do go through a lot. These are good. They're not washed, so you can keep them out on the counter for like well over a month. So I'm not worried about them going bad before I can use them. And then the same with the quail eggs. I just drink them raw, but that's why I just normally need a dozen a week. So that's why I got 2. So I'm planning on doing another like $50 pickup order for him in the next 2 weeks, but we'll see. And I'm not actually including this in my budget because we ended up getting a lot of cash for Christmas. So I just have been using the cash when I do the pickups. It makes it easier. I don't have to stop at the ATM. And I'm just keeping it out of the budget and yeah. So we just kind of got free eggs, or my family just paid for our eggs for the next 2 weeks. So thanks, Mom and Dad. You're the best. So that was $48, but again, I'm not including that in the budget. So now over here, this is what I bought at the produce stand. So this Dreamy Acre Farms, it's kind of sad. Her mother ended up passing away at the beginning, or I think it was like around Christmas time. And she's normally someone who's at the farmer's market, but obviously she wasn't at the last couple of them. But I had been wanting to buy some of her lotion. We absolutely love it. I buy her unscented version, but she has so many like really good scents there and like seasonal, all that stuff. She has her own goat farm, so it's like stuff that she makes herself. But obviously with her mom passing away, we waited a little bit, and she ended up dropping some off at the produce stand. So they let me know, and I picked up a bottle. So this has been probably well over a month in the making. I did end up making some beef tallow last week because like we really were in desperate need of lotion. My boys' skin was getting really dry and cracked. We do still have, actually I've got the tallow over here. Let me go get it. Okay, so here are the 2 like different lotion products that I've been using. I do a witch hazel for my face as well, but this I guess is more so body. This is what I do for my face. So this is the beef tallow that I made. You should have already seen the shorts, but basically it's just beef fat that's cooked down, rendered, and then I mixed a little jojoba oil with it and whipped it up with my hand mixer. And that's what it created this. It also made probably another 1/4 of a cup in another mason jar. So this is what we started using. It was around last week when I made this. I did have a separate thing of beef tallow that I bought online that we were using, but we were using that really sparingly because it was like a 2-ounce jar and that cost like $30. This beef fat that I used cost me like $5 to $7, and I got this huge container for it. And I already had the jojoba oil on hand, so, and that was a gift, so I didn't even spend money on that. So this has been really good for my skin, for my kids' skin. I don't know that my husband has tried it yet, but he's not really big into like lotion skincare. For some reason, his skin is like super hydrated always. But I have this, I've used it for the boys, I've used it on their face, I use it on my face, we've been doing it all over the body. I didn't put any essential oils in it, but this is really good for just like your overall, like you can put it on your face, you can put it on your hands, you can put it on your body. This goat milk and honey lotion, I normally just put on my body, use it on my hands. I'm probably just gonna end up leaving this in my kids' bathroom because it's easier for them to rub on, and I think they're just used to the bottle at this point. With this jar, they are like scooping their hand in and like they're getting way too much out. So I need to figure out a better thing for the boys to be able to like do their own lotion with the tallow. But basically with this, like I said, we do it just on our body. I like the unscented because I do tend to kind of I get bad headaches sometimes if like the scent is really overpowering. And also I just think it's better just to go unscented and not have fragrance and like the hormone disruptors. So if you are looking for a healthier alternative to like your store-bought lotion, I definitely recommend either trying to make your own beef tallow, buying your own beef tallow, or trying to find like a local person who makes lotion and soaps. It's actually a lot easier to come by than you think. They're like all over in like the little shops. So I'm sure you can even find people online that sell them. I'm sure this lady would ship some to you if you wanted it, Dreamy Acre Farms. And she's got a lot of good scents too. Okay, so back over here, we have our raw milk. We spend $10 for a gallon on raw milk. So living in the state of North Carolina, we are able to buy it for our pets, but not for like human consumption. So that's why you see on the label, it just says it's a pet treat. It's still filtered. It comes from local cows that are like raised on a farm, grass-fed. I'm not sure if they're grain finished or grass finished. Doesn't really, I mean, it does matter, but they're not sick. They're not at feedlots. They're not like, I think there's just such a big misconception with raw milk and like where it's coming from. Like the people we're buying this from, they have really healthy practices. They're making sure that their equipment is clean, that the cows are healthy, that the cows, like the udders are clean, you know, all the stuff. And we haven't had an issue drinking that. We've been drinking this for close to 6 months now. So I normally buy 2 at a time, but we already just opened up 1. We'll probably have to go back sometime in the middle of the week. We normally drink between 2 to 4 gallons in a week. Now that I have that milk to do some baking with, it'll probably be less because I kind of just want to reserve that for drinking and start buying the pasteurized milk for the cooking, because it's kind of pointless to cook with raw milk because that's like pasteurizing it, like you're changing the nutritional content of it when you heat it up. So if you are going to cook with raw milk, like, and you think that you're getting those like health benefits from it after it's cooked, you're not. There's still, I'm sure there's still probably some nutrition in it, but it's not like the same as just drinking it like that. So that's kind of why I want to make that switch, because it's obviously just more cost effective. With that being costing $10, I want to, you know, the stuff that's going to be cooked that doesn't really matter, that's already pasteurized. I'd rather just save my money where I can. So that is one thing I'm going to start doing more of. I did get 3 onions. I only have like half an onion left. So I don't really know. Obviously I'll use them for cooking, but I don't really know what recipes I'm doing yet. So that's just kind of up in the wind. I bought a bag of carrots because I know I went through my last thing of carrot when I was making the bone broth. And if you saw my last grocery haul when I bought the celery, I did check this time. It is not rotted and like smushy and gross on the inside. I'm not sure how much the celery is, but probably around like $3-ish, I'm not sure. But I do a lot of like bone broth, chicken stock, just normal cooking, like soups and that kind of stuff. So that's normally, those 3 things are what I normally have that stuff for. Okay, so I have some oranges. My boys have been asking a lot for, it's a lemon and orange. I just blended the juice together and then I heat it up with some water and honey. And it's just like a little cough, like a throat soothing tea type drink. They've been obsessed with that recently, so I bought more oranges for that. I also want to dabble in trying to make like the candied peels and doing like an orange simple syrup with it. And like I said, with the apples, kind of just like doing more zero waste with it. The last time, I'm not sure if the reel is posted yet, but the last time I made the orange and lemon, I freeze them into little ice cubes. The last time I did that, I actually saved the peels to do a simmer pot. So I still have that. I've just been waiting for a time when we're home long enough to actually enjoy the smell of it. So I've been trying to like do what I can. I just don't know exactly what all you can do with all of the different fruits, if that makes sense. So like I saw a reel of someone who like processed like the orange down to like the rind and saved that for like their garbage disposal and stuff. So I know there's a lot of different and creative ways out there of people who don't like throwing away the scraps, and I want to become more savvy with that. So that's something I want to like improve on, and that was like my thought process with these 2 big items. So the oranges are $1 a piece, so I spent $4 on that. The bananas, this is just like for eating. We'll put them in smoothies, banana bread, they'll get used up. And then the apples, like I said, these will be for snacking, and then doing the apple juice, applesauce, saving the scraps, and trying to make homemade apple cider vinegar. So that will be something that I show. Oh, and let me see. I think it was like 56, 55, 76, but it was really 54, but they charge for using card. So that is everything. I did want to get hot dogs, but they did not have any. So that's normally something I look for, but I wasn't able to get this week. Okay, so it is another day. We just stopped to get our order from our local farmer. Evan is now getting up on the chair, gonna get up on the trash can to help me. So if you hear any crashing, that's probably what that is. Okay, so the total that I spent, I think it was around $80, 85-ish. I'm not sure the exact amount. I forgot to check to see what my final charge was, but basically how we do it is we'll go online, we'll put in the quantity of what we want of each thing, and then they will go in once they have the item in hand and add in the final weight. So I have a general idea of what I would spend, but I don't know the exact amount until they've actually gone through and picked it. So starting with this beef short ribs, I think this was $7 a pound. That ended up, or $7 or $7.50 a pound. But that was around $8, I remember. And then their ground beef is $8.25 a pound. So we got 4 things of ground beef. Yeah, you say ground beef? Yeah, we're getting there, huh? He just turned 2, so he's just a chatterbox trying to learn everything. Okay, so that was the ground beef. You need to help down? No, you can do it yourself. Okay, you got it. And then you got Roscoe in the back, and this is just the chaos of what it's like without the older 2 here to help play with him. Okay, so then we have a container of kielbasa links. These are $9.95 for a 4-pack, and that'll last us between 1 to 2 meals depending on how hungry my kids are. Sometimes they'll eat like an entire sausage themselves. Other times they're like all 3 just eating 1, so it just depends. These chicken wings are actually for Roscoe. He's on a raw diet. He's actually got a little ear infection right now. So we're doing a little food trial for him. We're starting with chicken because I think that's like the stuff that's given him the best results. So basically for the chicken wings, I'll cut these in half, and it's 4 chicken wings in here, but it'll equal 8 days worth of like bone for Roscoe on his raw diet. And then last but not least, we have a whole chicken. So this was 3.5 pounds, so it cost us around $25. It's $6.95 for a pound for a whole chicken. Now, if you would get a chicken, like just chicken breast or chicken thighs, that's like $14 a pound, I want to say. So if I were to get 2 packages of chicken breast, it would cost me $30, or I can get a whole chicken, make bone broth, you know, get a lot more meat than just, and he's going through the junk drawer. We don't light chickens on fire. Hey Ev, can we close the door? Sorry, this is starting to be a little chaotic, but that's what happens, I guess, when you have a 2-year-old helping. So yeah, so this is everything that we got. I am going to go put it in our deep freezer, but I do have a lot more meat already in the deep freezer. Actually, I'll go take you guys to go look at the deep freezer after I put the stuff away so you can see everything that we have in there. Okay, so this is the infamous deep freezer. So in here, this is where I keep Roscoe's stuff. These are chicken hearts. This is the wings we just bought, and this is some beef tongue. So that's what I have for Roscoe. I think there's actually, yeah. These are for Roscoe as well. This is just some of his meat we have thawed. My husband put those in there. He doesn't know my organization stuff. And Evan's now. Hey, Ev. Hey. So if you hear background noise, he's still here. Okay, so in here is normally where I do the ground beef. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot of ground beef. Then we've got these kielbasa links, which we just got. The whole chicken. We already had a whole chicken in here, so now we've got 2. And I'm trying to think, this is some beef fat that you would have seen in one of my previous hauls. That's what I make my beef tallow with. And then we've got some boneless beef stew. I know we've got 2 things of boneless beef stew in here. Then we have some beef cube steak, 2 things of those. And then over here we've got some beef soup bone. And then we also have some stuff that's thawing in the fridge for this week, but this is just like overall kind of what we have just to kind of grab from throughout the week, because I really don't do a lot of meal planning. I just see what we have on hand and go from there. So yeah, so this is what our deep freezer looks like. I think it's like the 7-foot. It's not very deep, but so you definitely, if you're getting like half a cow, 1/4 of a cow, need to have something bigger. But this works for what, you know, for what we use it for. So yeah. So that is everything that I bought for groceries for this week. I always try and stay in budget. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I still think we'll stay in budget for this week because we're not going to have a big protein order. You would have already seen that clip anyways. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting these groceries put away. Thank you again for watching to the end of this video. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what other type of content you want to see. We do a lot of cooking, a lot of lunches, well, every meal, honestly. But I try and do as much as I can from scratch, and I'm trying to start showing you guys more of like the homemade options and alternatives versus like the store-bought. So if you have any ideas for content, let me know, and we'll see you next time. Bye.